about a month since Trump took office, and with the new administration has come a dizzying slew of new executive orders. Through his actions, Trump has promised to reduce American immigration, strengthen American health, and even end the reign of terror perpetrated against America's citizens by paper straws. But one of those orders has been making headlines as of late for all the wrong reasons. I'm of course talking about the establishment and implementation of the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge for short. The name Doge is an apparent wink to the original Doge internet meme turned cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's right. Before Elon set his sights on visiting Mars via SpaceX, he went to the moon, a phrase coined by tech dorks after he promoted the cryptocurrency, and it skyrocketed.
We definitely want a rocket to reach Uranus. That's it's a stretch goal to reach Uranus.
Hey man, if you stretched your rocket into Uranus every once in a while, you might just be able to cut back on all those illegitimate children. Elon achieved his first federal cut by eliminating his own co-leader from the department, politician and promoter of the lazy white American myth, Vivek Ramaswamy, will no longer join him in the department's goal of cutting federal spending, deregulating federal agencies, and using AI technology to increase efficiency in the government. Ramaswamy says he left to launch a run for Ohio governor, but I'm guessing he came to the realization that if he really wanted to increase efficiency in America, his first order of business would be cutting his own people from customer service positions. Does he have any idea how much time we waste talking to these people? Hello, this is Verizon. How can I help you? Yeah, hi. Is this Verizon? Yes, this is Verizon. How can I help you? Yeah, I seem to be having problems with my connection. It's been down all afternoon. Okay, madam, I'm gonna try to generate report. Can you turn back on modem and turn it off? Sorry. Could you repeat that? Okay, madam, I'm gonna try to generate report. Can you turn back on modem and turn it off? I'm sorry, one more time. I really didn't get that. Madam, we need to go to the back of my team and turn it off and on for the general reboot. I'm sorry. Could you maybe put me through to somebody else? I'm just having a really hard time with your accent. Hello, that's Verizon. How can I help you? Since the Doge's implementation, thousands of government workers have lost their jobs and budget cuts have been made to several federal agencies. Agencies including the Department of Defense, the NIH, the IRS, NASA, and the Department of Education. And of course, all those government workers who stayed quiet as mice while those of us in the private sector lost our jobs to dictator Spike Protein have finally found their voice, just enough to squeak about how scared they are over the prospect of not being able to feed their families.
People are really scared. I think that 12 days ago, people knew where their next paycheck was coming from. They knew how they were going to pay for their kids' daycare, their medical bills, and then all gone overnight.
Sorry, folks, the results of the Doge sniff test are in, and they've determined you are not essential. Listen, okay, I get it. Government workers are a lot like my second camera angle. They're expensive, they're redundant, and nobody asked for them. But whenever we voice our concerns with the government about just how many of these parasites there are, all that happens is we get more and more and more and more and more. Because the bigger the government, the more dependent we become. And much like a Doge, nobody is willing to bite the hand that feeds them. So when the federal government promises to eliminate the federal government, I can't help but wonder, what will the federal government replace the federal government with? In other words, is there a more nefarious agenda behind Doge? To answer this question, we must first find the source of the proposal. The DOGE is nothing more than a renaming of RAGE, or Retire All Government Employees, proposed by Curtis Yarvin, a Jewish-American computer scientist and political theorist who's earned himself some very influential followers. Those followers include tech bro billionaire Peter Thiel and the VP whose career he bankrolled, J.D. Vance.
There's this guy, Curtis Yarvin, who's written about some of these things. And so one is to basically accept that this entire thing is going to fall in on itself, right? And so the task of conservatives right now is to preserve as much as can be preserved. And then when the inevitable collapse of the country comes, ensure that conservatives are able to sort of help build back the country.
The vice president is such a fan of Yarvin's that he often praises and parrots his ideas. Ideas like hollowing out the federal government and replacing it with a system called patchwork, smaller governments that would be run by tech corporations. Basic idea of patchwork, according to Yarvin, is that as the crappy governments we inherited from history are smashed, they should be replaced by a global spiderweb of tens, even hundreds of thousands of sovereign and independent mini-countries, each governed by its own joint stock corporation without regard for the residents' opinions. His suggestion for keeping order in these mini-countries is an all-seeing Orwellian surveillance system that would enforce public safety. All residents, even temporary visitors, carry an ID card with RFID response. All are genotyped and iris scanned. Public places and transportation systems track everyone. Security cameras are ubiquitous. Every car knows where it is and who's sitting in it and tells the authorities both. RFID? Where have I heard that before?
The whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them.
Now, the funny thing about all this is that neither the left or the right seem to see this as the predictable next step in a centuries-old plan. The right believe we've entered a new dawn in the fight for freedom, and the left still believe that 15-minute cities are just good urban planning. What's even funnier is that while the right is basking in the prospect of de-browning America, the left have become the new conspiracy theorists. They're even touting all the same talking points from lessons they missed in early 2020. Talking points like, we didn't elect this guy, so why is he telling us what to do? And oh no, they're taking away our free speech. And my personal favorite, I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm pretty sure there's a group of elite billionaires who are fighting for world domination. This year's gonna be so much fun.